What's up, everybody? You're here with the Fly Guy. All right, today I just want to talk with you guys about low clearwater smallmouth at the beginning of the fall season. Sometimes it can be a little challenging, and I've got just a couple basic flies here to share with you today, and some techniques to use with them to get out there and catch fish, sometimes when they get lockjaw. Low clear water can be tough, regardless of the time of year that you're fishing. Even during the fall season when fish are feeding heavily for the overwinter period, they can still be difficult to catch. So these flies are good go-to patterns that you can use during these conditions, and you can fish them in a variety of different ways. The tying recipes for these fly patterns will be up on my website at tfgflies.com, so check that out. My website has been completely rebuilt. I've spent a lot of time organizing it and restructuring it for you. There's more tying recipes up there and more resources are coming. So if you have not already, make sure that you subscribe to my channel and make sure that you sign up for my email list so you know when new stuff comes out. All right, let's get into some low clear water fall smallmouth. So this is some old footage where I was fishing low clear water smallmouth in early fall on the Cuyahoga River here in Ohio. I was using the dub bugger in honey brown. This fly does not make a big splash when it hits the water, and this really fishes well right before the leaves start to drop. This color scheme, this brown, yellow, honey brown coloration, does not fish well once the leaves start getting into the water really thick, because pretty much they're just going to blend in with the leaf litter. So this fly really does well August, September, and into the beginning of October, depending on your leaf fall rates. So just keep that in mind. It does resemble a tequila bug or a tequila streamer. And that fly is really good. I've tied those up and fished them myself, but for me, I just prefer like a good dubbed body woolly bugger. That's just my preference, and it seems to do the trick for me. One of the things that you need to really be aware of is when you are wading in to creeks, trying to go after low clear water smallmouth in the fall. Whether they're aggressive or they're not, you need to be careful when you're wading. Your movements need to be minimal, and you need to be moving slow. Take your time, pick the water apart, and don't just go traipsing into the water, because even if the fish are aggressive, if you spook those fish, there's a good chance that the larger ones are not going to commit to your presentation because they didn't get that big by being stupid. You've got to make sure that you don't spook fish. A lot of guys will go into runs, ripples, and pools, and I've watched it from above, elevated on the bank. I've actually seen larger fish in some of the areas that they've been fishing, and even after I say, hey, be really careful, wade in nice and slow, they traipse on in there, they're not that careful, and they spook fish, and they might catch a couple small ones, but the big fish are done. So this clip is from a small creek near my home. I grew up fly fishing on it. Early fall, low clear water, and a little bit of leaf litter. Few leaves that have fallen down, and they're starting to flow through the creek. Conveniently, when leaves just begin to fall, they will congregate in the areas that you want to cast and fish. There's no real way to get around it. But I was using the Crafty Clouser in chartreuse. I use a slightly weighted fly when this starts to happen, because even if you have small dumbbell eyes, the weight of that fly enables it to slip off of leaves if it happens to land on a few or one large one when you cast. And if you're using a full fluorocarbon leader, maybe with a swivel incorporated into it, that also will have enough weight to sink and slip off that leaf, especially when you start your retrieve. In low clear water, if you're close enough or have the ability to see clearly at a distance, you can also see your fly sink below the leaves, and you can jig retrieve until the leader slips off those leaves. Now this obviously only works during times where there's just a little bit of leaf debris in the water. Once it starts getting really choked up and clogged, you obviously can't do that as well. But this will help you with this time of year. And the nice thing about the Clouser minnow is you can vary the dumbbell eyes that you use, vary the weights, vary the sizes to achieve different sink rates. And during low clear water, I use a smaller medium-sized set of dumbbell eyes, and it serves me well. I can retrieve it immediately once it hits the water, and I can target those aggressive fish. When you're fishing for these low clear water smallmouth, regardless if you're using, the dub bugger or a Clouser minnow, or any other type of weighted fly, your leader should be straight fluorocarbon. Make sure that your leaders are 6 to 8 feet long. You don't need a super long leader. You also don't want to go too short, but in between is good. I use a shorter leader in creeks for aggressive fish, and when I don't want my fly to sink down too deep too quick. Because if the leader is too long and you're using even a slightly weighted fly like this Clouser minnow, you'll just sink your flies right into the bottom. When fish are spooky and you might be faced with maybe a little bit of deeper water, I go ahead and use a longer leader because you can get away with it. And it keeps that leader away from the fly line, and they're less likely to get spooked by your fly line hitting the water at that point. I hope these tips help you get dialed in for low clear water during the fall when you're chasing creek smallmouth, wherever you're at. Use these tips and mold them to your areas and see if they help you out next time you get out on the water. If you are fishing slightly bigger water, or maybe your creeks have deeper plunge pools, and you need to get down just a little bit more, the first fly, the dub bugger, you could try a slightly larger version, the creek bugger bass version in honey brown. It's just got a weighted head, fishes a little bit more like a jig, but it can still be fished just like a streamer, and that'll help you in deeper water and in larger systems, or for aggressive fish as well. Don't forget to vary the weight of your dumbbell eyes on your Clouser minnows so you have different sink rates, and that also results in different splash rates as well. So the smaller eyes will splash less, the larger eyes will splash more, so keep that in mind when you're chasing these fall fish, because sometimes they will be a little bit more difficult to approach, and that's going to help you out having those flies available in your arsenal. The tying recipes for these flies will be up on my website at tfgflies.com, and I will have them linked below for you. Check those out. And make sure to subscribe to my email list so you know when new courses, tying recipes, or tying guides come out. If you like this video, go ahead and hit thumbs up, and if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel for more fly fishing and fly tying videos. Thanks again for watching, everybody. Take care, and we'll catch you next time.